What's going on YouTube? My name is Josh and I am back with another NBA video. The much anticipated 2017 NBA draft is in the books and it was definitely one to remember. So in today's video I will be talking about both the winners and the losers of this year's draft. But before I get into this video, I'm actually doing a giveaway and I'll have details about it at the end of the video, so make sure you guys stay tuned. But without further ado, let's get into it. So for the most part, there weren't many losers. In fact, I only have 2 losers on this list. So we're gonna do the losers first, then we'll get to the winners. So loser number 1, the New York Knicks. What else is new with this team? After all of the Kristaps Porzingis rumors, things just got worse for the Knicks heading into the draft. Porzingis wasn't traded, and the Knicks passed on both Malik Monk and Dennis Smith Jr. to take Frank Ntilikina from France. Now Frank is a super raw point guard from France, and even though he plays professionally overseas, I think both Malik Monk and Dennis Smith were actually better prospects. Pretty much every mock draft I read had Monk and Smith ahead of him, and it's interesting to see that the Knicks drafted him so early. Now obviously, all of these guys have never played a single minute in the NBA, so we don't know how exactly they're going to turn out in the league. But in my opinion, I think Malik Monk and Dennis Smith Jr. would have been better choices than Frank Ntilikina. But at the end of the day, the Knicks are a mess, and draft night did absolutely nothing to clean up that mess. Loser number 2. The Chicago Bulls. No surprise here, the Bulls traded away their only superstar in Jimmy Butler to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now the deal wasn't a complete disaster for the Bulls because they did get some nice pieces in return. And the Bulls made it clear that they wanted to move Butler, but I think they definitely could have got more for him. In fact, in this trade, they got a lot less than many expected them to. So the Timberwolves acquired Jimmy Butler and the 16th overall pick, while the Chicago Bulls acquired Chris Dunn, Zach LaVine, and the 7th pick in the draft that they used on Lauri Markkanen from the University of Arizona. Now, I think the trade would have been fine if it was just Jimmy Butler for Chris Dunn, Zach LaVine, and then the 7th overall pick, but instead the Bulls gave up the 16th pick in the draft in the deal. So that's why they're a loser in my opinion. Plus, after trading away a guy like Jimmy Butler, you would think the Bulls wanted to draft a scorer. That's why I think a guy like Dennis Smith or Malik Monk would have been perfect in Chicago, but instead, they take Lauri Markkanen from Arizona. And don't get me wrong, Markkanen is a great scorer, but at the end of the day, I think Monk and Smith have more star potential. Not to mention, Zach LaVine and Chris Dunn are also huge question marks. Dunn did not have a great rookie season last year, and Zach LaVine is coming off a tore ACL injury, and LaVine is a guy who depends a lot on his athleticism, and after dealing with his ACL injury, who knows if he'll be the same player that he was earlier this year, because he was having a great season. At one point he was putting up 20 a game, so hopefully he can play like that for the Chicago Bulls. But the Bulls traded away one of the most valuable assets in the league in Jimmy Butler, and that's why I have them as a loser in this draft. So those were my only losers in this draft. Let me know if I forgot any in the comment section down below. I mean, luckily not many teams took L's in this draft. So let's get to the winners. Winner number 1, the Utah Jazz. So the Jazz made a trade with the Denver Nuggets that I thought was actually pretty good. So the Jazz had 2 late first round picks, and they used one of those picks in a trade to Denver with forward Trey Lyles to trade up and draft Donovan Mitchell with the 13th pick. And this move makes so much sense for the Utah Jazz, because both George Hill, who is aging and injury prone, and Gordon Hayward are both becoming free agents. So Utah made a great decision and took the chance at a guard who can play both on and off the ball and could replace Hill and maybe even Hayward sometime in the future. And Mitchell just seems like a guy who's going to be a great NBA pro. Not to mention, later in the first round, Utah also moved up a few spots to grab North Carolina center Tony Bradley, which is just another smart move for the franchise. Winner number 2, the Charlotte Hornets. I really liked what the Charlotte Hornets did in this draft. A couple days ago, they traded for Dwight Howard, who I think will probably be a good fit in Charlotte, playing with Kemba Walker. However, the Charlotte Hornets got so lucky on draft night, as Malik Monk fell to the 11th pick in the draft, which was completely surprising. Most mock drafts had him going as high as top 6, top 7, and he ended up falling down to 11, which is very lucky if you're Michael Jordan and the Charlotte Hornets. Now, a lot of mock drafts I noticed had either Donovan Mitchell or Luke Kennard going to Charlotte, but instead they got one of the best scorers, if not the best scorer, in this draft in Monk. So now you're teaming up Kemba Walker and Malik Monk in Charlotte. Hornets fans should have a lot to look forward to. So by stealing Monk with the 11th pick, they are the second winner on this list. Winner number 3, the Sacramento Kings. The Kings as a franchise have been struggling over the past couple of months, ever since they traded DeMarcus Cousins, things just haven't looked good. It looks like they're trying to build around guys like Buddy Hield and Willie Cauley-Stein, but as of right now, the Kings have a lot of work to do. Luckily, they had the 5th and the 10th pick in this draft, and they made some phenomenal decisions. They got the player that they wanted, which was De'Aaron Fox, who in my opinion is going to be a great NBA pro. He's not a great shooter, but shooting is something you can always improve on. He's got a lot of athleticism and a lot of speed, and traits like that are things you can't teach. I mean, you can't teach somebody to be athletic. You can't teach somebody to be super fast with the ball in his hands. But you can teach someone how to shoot a ball. So I think De'Aaron Fox is going to improve a lot over the next couple of years, and I think he'll be the face of the Sacramento Kings for years to come. Now, they could have drafted Malik Monk at number 10 and teamed up De'Aaron Fox and Malik Monk once again, which would have been pretty cool, but they ended up trading the 10th pick to Portland in return for the 15th pick and the 20th pick, which is actually a pretty good deal. Then they decided to take Justin Jackson, who was coming off of a national championship win with UNC, and then Harry Giles. Now, Justin Jackson is one of the oldest players in the draft. He's actually 22 years old, but Harry Giles has a lot of potential. He was ranked the #1 player in the class of 2016 with guys like Markelle Fultz, Lonzo Ball, Josh Jackson, etc. But due to some injuries, his college career didn't go as planned. But nevertheless, Giles has so much upside. I mean, you can't really go wrong drafting him at number 20. Because at the end of the day, the 20th pick is minimal risk and potentially a massive reward. So the Kings walk out of the draft with De'Aaron Fox, Justin Jackson, and Harry Giles, 3 players who I think are going to impact this team for years to come. Winner number 2, the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns got super unlucky just a couple of weeks ago in the NBA draft lottery, where they were expected to get a top 3 pick and then ended up dropping down to number 4. But leading up to the draft, it was clear that the Suns wanted either Josh Jackson or Lonzo Ball if possible. And we all knew Lonzo wasn't going to slip out of the top 3, but Josh Jackson could. And that's exactly what happened come draft night. Jason Tatum was drafted by the Boston Celtics with the 3rd overall pick, and luckily Josh Jackson was available at number 4, and that's exactly who the Suns picked. The Suns were trying to trade up in the draft, but luckily they didn't, and Josh Jackson fell right into their laps at number 4. So Jackson is a super athletic wing who is a perfect fit alongside Devin Booker and Eric Bledsoe. People say that Jackson has a lot of superstar potential if he can develop his jump shot, which is also a big question mark, but nevertheless, I mean, Jackson is a phenomenal defender, and I think he'll fit in well in Phoenix. But even if his shot doesn't improve that much, he's still a great defender, and he can get to the basket and shoot the mid-range, and Josh Jackson so far has looked very good in workouts and also in college. I think one issue with Josh Jackson may be his off-court issues, but besides that, Phoenix made a great decision by drafting Josh Jackson with the number 4th pick, and that's why they are the 4th winner on this list. Winner number 5, the Minnesota Timberwolves. This should come as no surprise to you guys. Minnesota easily won this draft. They sent the 2016 first-round pick Chris Dunn and Zach LaVine to Chicago for Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is coming off of a season where he was an all-star, he won a gold medal last summer, and he was named to the All-NBA 3rd team not that long ago. Butler is still pretty young, at 27 years old, and he's just at the beginning of his prime. This is an absolute steal for Minnesota, bringing in an all-star like Jimmy Butler. He has 2 years left on his contract, so he's not going to walk away anytime soon, and he's also playing for his old coach in Tom Thibodeau. He's joining a very nice young core of Karl Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins, and this is a team that has potential to be championship contenders within the next couple of seasons. Both Towns and Wiggins have shown so much potential, and there's a possibility Towns and Wiggins could both be all-stars next year. I think Towns for sure. Not to mention, the Timberwolves got rid of 2 question marks on their team in Chris Dunn and Zach LaVine. Dunn didn't have a great rookie season, and Zach LaVine coming off of a torn ACL like I mentioned earlier, you don't know how he's going to play come next season. So by picking up an all-star and an all-NBA team member in Jimmy Butler, this trade is easily an A+. Not to mention, they also received the 16th pick from Chicago and drafted big man Justin Patton. So without any question, the Minnesota Timberwolves are the winners of the 2017 NBA draft. So those were the winners and the losers of the draft. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the draft and also this video. This draft was so hyped up for weeks, and finally finally we gotta watch it and see how everything turned out. Now, I mentioned at the beginning of this video that I'll be doing a giveaway, and really I just wanted to thank you guys for all the incredible support. I started making NBA videos back in February, and since then I've gained almost 10,000 subscribers, and that is just insane. So I decided that I wanted to do a giveaway since we're heading into the summer. I thought it would be a perfect time. I will be giving away a $50 NBA store gift card, and in order to enter this giveaway, you guys must like this video, follow me on Twitter, and comment in the comment section down below which NBA team won this draft and also why. And 1 week from today, I will be choosing the winner. I will go down the comment section, randomly choose somebody, and then I'll private message you on YouTube and I'll send you your gift card. I will also announce the winner on Twitter in case you guys are wondering, so make sure you guys follow me there. That's super important. But I want to thank you guys for all of the support. It's been absolutely amazing. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to hit that subscribe button and also hit that like button. But that's it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm out. Peace.